Alright, this is my individual project report, or as I like to call it, the gluten-free experiment that has turned into a lifestyle. So, proves it did its job. So I'm just going to walk you through a little bit of everything, what my plan was, what actually ended up happening, and how it's helping me now. And how I felt, of course. So the actual process. As you could tell in my project pitch, I came up with this idea that I was going to cook 3 new meals a week that were gluten-free. I was going to meal prep. I was going to do all these things. And then college life set in, and it ended up being crazy. I only had time to meal prep 1 week, and even then, I just, for some reason, didn't eat all of the stuff that I'd meal prepped. I don't know what was going on that week, but it was just crazy. And it was even more crazy because I'd spent a lot of money on getting all the groceries and really trying to prep for that week, and a lot of it just did not go the way I planned. For example, I made these veggie enchiladas with corn tortillas that I usually love, but for some reason, I just did not feel like eating them that week, which was super odd to me. And they ended up getting moldy, sadly. I was so mad. They got moldy a lot faster than the flour tortillas, I will say that. So it's kind of sad there. That's one thing I learned. Gluten-free food goes bad a lot faster than flour. Anyway, second, I tried to make these, because chicken nuggets are my lifeline. I love chicken nuggets so much. And I wanted to try to make a healthier version of that. That was gluten-free as well. So I tried making this cauliflower, this baked cauliflower and zucchini nugget. These baked cauliflower and zucchini nuggets, and they did not work out. They had like cornmeal and nutritional yeast and a bunch of these things that I thought would be super good, and I followed the recipe to a T. Granted, I might have made a little bit too much of the breading, but yeah, they did not turn out crispy like I thought they would. So there was that. And then by the end of the week, it was crazy because I feel like I'd run out of most of my groceries. Super weird. Did not expect that. Did not expect groceries to either go bad that fast or, yeah. So all in all, that week kind of felt like a failure, but it was weird. Even though I wasn't doing the things that I'd really hoped to do, I noticed that I felt a lot happier and I felt a lot better from day one. So I cut out gluten, right? And then the next day after I woke up, I immediately had more energy. Usually I would wake up in the mornings and I would feel kind of sluggish, and I'm slow in the mornings, but before cutting gluten out, I was even slower. And so, like I said, yeah, day 2 of gluten, I automatically felt a change in that. People would ask me how it was going so far, and I would say, I have more energy. So it's weird because carbohydrates are supposed to give you energy, but I suddenly had more than usual, which is kind of a lot sometimes. But yeah, I just wasn't as sluggish, and overall I just felt better. Something I also noticed right off the bat, before cutting gluten out, I would get random stomach pains, like that would make me feel like I needed to throw up, and I would try to throw up and I just couldn't. I know it's kind of graphic, but yeah, and it would just be awful. I couldn't eat too much of one thing, and it was a big mess. And all my doctors had told me that it was anxiety related and that my stomach was producing too much stomach acid. But as soon as I cut gluten out, that has not happened. And it used to happen once a week, once every other week. Basically, I would feel some sort of nauseousness at least a couple of times a week. Yeah, that's gone. So that's been super great. That was super awesome that first week. And that's really what made it worth it to keep going. So the second week, not gonna lie, I don't remember a lot of what I ate besides Chick-fil-A grilled nuggets, because that's really all I had time for. I really don't remember a lot of what went on that week, but I do remember that it was crazy and that Chick-fil-A was my lifeline. And so payday came around and I was like, okay, I've got to get enough groceries for this next week. Like, have to, absolutely have to. Yeah, it was that day that I learned that gluten-free stuff is expensive. I spent $180 on groceries, never doing that again. I got like coconut flour, I got almond flour, I got all of these different things that I thought I needed, and yeah, spent a lot more money than planned. It ended up helping though. Was able to make more good things. I really learned how to utilize eggs. I have never, up until now, I hadn't been a super big egg eater. I haven't really incorporated eggs into my diet a lot, but now I feel like I eat eggs almost every day just because they are a good source of protein and they do make me feel more full. And they're a good substitute for, I feel like they're, scrambled eggs, I feel like are the quesadilla of not gluten stuff, if that makes any sense at all whatsoever. So yeah, there was that. And then it's funny actually, the third week was when I officially decided to go gluten-free completely. And so I had one last, I think it was like a Wednesday or something, I had one last eat all the gluten I can for 24 hours. Oh, it was so funny. I had like my lasts, I had a Cafe Rio burrito, and that was amazing. Then I had a couple of other things that I was just like, I had crumble for the last time, and then, yeah, for the last time. And then I was off completely. And then, yeah, so that was the basis of it. Just some more differences that I did notice. Migraines. I tend to get a lot of stress, headaches, and migraines, like to the point where it's just not good. And being on blood thinners, I can't take ibuprofen, which before blood thinners was my lifeline. And Tylenol still isn't working the best for me. But as soon as I cut gluten out, migraines automatically went down, headaches automatically went down, my tension headaches went down, which was amazing, and something that, I was so happy about. And since I've gone completely off gluten, I have every once in a while, I mean, I like crumble, and every once in a while I will eat something with gluten, but I always end up regretting it because the headache comes back and the tension comes back, and it's so crazy because I had no idea how huge of a difference consuming gluten could make in my diet and how much it could really affect my body. I mean, just the fact that I have more energy when I don't eat it is huge. And just the fact that my migraines have gone down, that's also huge. It's just a minor, not so minor, but kind of minor lifestyle change that just has really impacted me for the better. So yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else. Just some foods that I made and that were really good. Gluten-free peanut butter cookies. Best snack ever. What else? I made gluten-free pizza. That was an adventure. I made that with almond flour. It was my favorite, but I would definitely make it again. I made gluten-free banana bread. That was okay, but it wasn't the best. It's just a trial and error thing. I was gonna say something else about going gluten-free, and I totally forgot what it was. But anyway, so yeah, that's the gluten-free project that has turned into a lifestyle, and I feel like from now on, I'm gonna be able to get my body back to everything and gonna get it feeling a lot better. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Now, I don't know if I have a gluten intolerance. I am getting a full blood workup in the next couple of months, so I'll know for sure, but I can definitely say that this is a lifestyle that I'm going to keep up, even though it is difficult. So yeah, thanks Dr. Alborn's class for helping me change my life. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. This actually also inspired me, as well as this class, to find cheaper groceries, because like I said, I would prefer not to spend $180 on groceries for one trip. So I did enroll in the Misfits Market Box, which allows me to get the produce that isn't pretty enough to be sold in stores. So I'm reducing food waste, and then also you can pick different pantry items. Like I recently got cassava flour and a 1-to-1 blend of flour, and it was not as expensive, not nearly as expensive as it would be in Smith's. So thank you, Dr. Alborn's class, for teaching me that my body does not like gluten, and how to shop smarter and how to cook smarter, and for really teaching me the science behind everything so that I can just be my best self. So sorry this video was a little bit longer, but thanks so much.